Dolly Parton's Imagination Library was initiated by the star in the mid-1990s to help Tennessee children prepare for kindergarten. It is now expanded all over the United States, including right here in East Texas.
Come on now, the Greater Longview United Way partnered with the Imagination Library, providing free books to children under 5 in Gregg County. KLTV7's April Parton spoke with an East Texas family who enjoyed their experience in the Imagination Library.
A monkey, what is this?
Apple.
Every day, our little girl asks if her book is in the mail.
What is it?
She wants to check the mail and thinks that a book's going to come every single day.
Katie, a mother from Longview, signed up her 2 kids to the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library program over a year ago. The program was initiated by Dolly Parton in the mid-90s to help children in Tennessee prepare for kindergarten, and it has now expanded all over the United States, including in East Texas.
We love reading. We spend a lot of time in the evenings, especially reading.
The Greater Longview United Way serves as an affiliate, providing free books to children under 5 in Gregg County.
We love having that feedback from our parents and our caregivers who see the tremendous value that we're providing by doing Imagination Library.
The affiliation aims to combat Texas low literacy rates, where 75% of children under 6 are not read to daily.
I think in an age where we have access to more technology than ever before, taking time to read and have high quality literature in the home is vitally important.
And for the past 2 years, they have distributed over 40,000 books with nearly 2,300 children enrolled in the program.
I've really seen them grow. They start making animal sounds and learning the names of animals, and then they start wanting to finish the sentences in the book. I love watching their little brains learn all the things as they continue to grow.
With 1 book a day, a child can develop a lifelong love for reading. April Parton, KLTV 7 News.
That was the cutest thing I think I've seen all day. If you're interested in signing up your child to Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, scan the QR code on your screen with your cell phone, or you can go to kltv.com and then click on the big red box when you get there.